Okay then. That was a day. Man, that was a day. Worst thing about it was having to spend the day with my girlfriend from the morning to getting home. That was the hardest thing, I'm telling you. Oh, she definitely needs a brain transplant. Yeah, it was a bit of a, it was a right game. Because basically then, so the guy, when we turned up, the guy looked like he's pretty honest, but so he just assumed that, oh, well, I'm honest. But like, when we got there, because we didn't know he's a guy who buys from auctions and sells them. So basically, the car's not in his name; it's in somebody else's name, and we're supposed to just go, "Oh, okay," and believe him that we can just. So in the end, I was like, he's sort of like going, and then in the end, this mechanic had suggested earlier in the day, in the morning, when I went and asked him, and like in the village, he said, "What I would do if I was you is just go to the police station." And then say, like, well, if he'll go to the police station, well, that's okay. It's crazy. You can go into the police station and you just go in and speak to them into the police station. And there was like, a waiting room and everything. And you went in, and this guy, we just sat down, and then basically they did like a contract. He wrote out this thing, and it said basically like a weird contract. And then I put my details, and he put these, not to change the vehicle numbers, but just a sort of a thing to guarantee everything was right, that the police had looked at it, and they looked at it and went, yeah, everything's okay here, and verified his ID and said, yes, everything you've got here is fine. Then we've got a letter from the police, all stamped and everything. He says, right, and they called it Sabajai. It's like a weird thing, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, okay. Then it's like, you are happy? They said, you Sabai mai? Like, well, that means like, are you happy? I went, yeah, okay then. He went, yeah, that's it then. So we went outside, and that's it. And then we spent so much time trying to just make sure the paperwork was all right, which is called Ekasan, right? That I didn't even check the vehicle. We checked some numbers at the start. Then we went into sort of like, he thought we were going to do the deal. And then I was like, no, well, we need to. We talked about this before we even. He'd come all the way. He'd come all the way from Bangkok. He'd driven for like 6 hours, 5 or 6 hours. Stayed overnight in a town, Korat, and then he come up the next morning. He met us around about 12 o'clockish, midday, in the city, that way, south of where we are now, like an hour and a half south. And then we got there, and then we sort of like dropped the bombshell, and like said, like, we're not just gonna like give you the money, send you £12,000, £500,000 baht over to your address, to your bank account, and then just like say goodbye, because we're doing a sale now that we don't normally do, which is normally you have the green book, and in it you'll say, where's your ID card? You show his ID card, and his ID card, and then in the book it'll say the same name and everything else is on that ID card. You go, okay then, and then they have to sign. You have like a seller's form and a buyer's form. You know what I mean? So we basically got the seller's form. He puts all these details down, and then the buyer's form, I fill that in myself, and I take that to the Ministry of Transport. That's how you transfer a vehicle in this country. There's none of this like in our country. You just get the logbook, you get a piece of paper, you both sign it. Someone tear the bottom off. The seller tears the bottom off and says, I've sold, and puts it in the post box and says, I've sold that vehicle on this day at this time. So basically, it's not my responsibility anymore. And then the other person basically sends their side off, and then a new one comes back to the buyer, and then they've got the new V5, the new form. That's it. There's no here. You have to go. Everybody who buys a new vehicle, I mean, even a motorbike. Things like all these motorbikes, they've had to do, it's literally 2 times going there all the way to the city. You know what I mean? If the vehicle you've got has not got any tax, you have to and then also as well, if it's not taxed, right, you then have to also get taxed for it first, and then you have to then get it checked. You know what I mean? So you have to take the vehicle to get it checked. It's like an MOT in a way, but you can't just go to a local one. You've got to go into the city. It's mental what they do, how they do run things here. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, so basically it's a 4-door. It's a 4-door. It's got, someone's modified it. I wish I'd have put bloody. Tell you what, if I pause this video, can I then put on the flash? Let's try it. No, I couldn't. It's crazy. Apple cannot allow you to bring the flash on halfway through, because I'm touching the screen. Why can't you bring the flash on? You can on the Samsung, because I've seen somebody do it. It's only just now you can pause the bloody videos. So, yeah. Keys. Where did I put the key? Oh, it's over there. So let's see if I can. Can we do? Ah, there you go. That's it. So this is. I don't think that's actually leather, is it? Do you know what I mean? This is a little bit worrying, but I just think he's 5 years old. At the end of the day, but 5 years old because it's a 2020. Full on the business there with the thing, and it's like got a camera in the back, you can reverse it. Someone's modified it, you know what I mean? Some idiot. This got super dark windows on at night. It's a nightmare, like. And then it's got wheels on, so taking the original wheels off, and they've put hasn't got disc brakes at the back. They're drums. It's got Brembo, if you can believe it. It's got Brembo. It's got Brembo. What's this? Yeah, if I'd have had the bloody. I know, you're a lovely one. So just gotta watch it. And then there's no damage on it. See this here, look. You look at it, you think, so that's one of them things you go, nah, how has that got like that? But do you know what I mean, like, how is it you think? But then you think, no, it's 6 years old. It's only done 100,000 miles. So no, 100,000 kilometers, 90,000 kilometers. You think, has it? You know what I mean? But we'll soon see. You know what I mean? But it seems to be all right. The engine's clean. The engine doesn't look like it's done 500,000 kilometers. You know what I'm saying? Everything else is lovely except for these seats. I don't understand how they could have got in such a state. Have they got a dog? I mean, what's going on? Why is that like that? Is it age? Do you know what I mean? Because it's that's the thing that worries me. Everything else is fine, but what's going on there? People's moving around. He does that. Something's, you know what I mean? Like, probably find out it's done 500,000 miles. That's what it is, 500,000 kilometers. As I say, it's got plenty of tyre life. I'll never have to change them. There's no way I'll ever do enough. There's enough. It's all got LED inside there, LED bulbs. The old Gabba, and also it's not long as well. That's a good thing as well, because you probably could get a bike across there, and obviously this down as well, you could probably get a bike across there if you needed to. So that's just perfect. You know what I mean? Because you can get these right, and they've got like this called a Gabba at the back, the pickup part, and so there's a camera there, and you can see everything's got all the lines and on the screen, all that business there. I'll be changing that coloured thing around there. No, you think, why has he got Bangkok on there? No, that says Gunte Mahanakon. And it's like, well, the thing is, the thing was registered for Nonthaburi, but maybe Nonthaburi. The last, it's weird. That's a bit weird as well, because these are finance. It's a snatchback. You know what I mean? Pretty Wolves, the Wolf though. And then it's got no key. It's a bit of a nightmare. This is a starter thing, and you have to go through this procedure of putting your foot on the back. There's no way you could steal this car, I'm telling you now. Even if you had the key, it's like a key fob. There's no actual key. So it's this thing in your hand with like an open and close the doors, and there's another thing like I've got to work out how it works. Now, so and it's auto as well, which is what I wanted. I'm a bit disappointed with the auto, to be honest with you. It's a bit laggy, you know what I mean? But that's what auto is, isn't it? And it's for fuel economy as well, apparently. Oh, there must be something. What's there? Oh, there you go, a nice little thing in there. So it's got something there for brake assist. It's got all the good stuff on it. Do you know what I mean? Air conditioning's great. I say at night, someone's put this tint on. Someone's put this tint on at night. You basically at dusk, where the sun's nearly down, but it's still not dark outside. Here, you'll put the lights on, thinking we need the lights on because it's dark. But then you can't. You're thinking like Bond's going, well, the lights aren't very good, are they? And I said, no. How about look at? And I opened the window. Right? Can you imagine? Because that's what it's like now. That's like that. That's what you're looking. So instead of it being like that when you look out the window, it's that. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. So, you know, I've seen this before. I've borrowed cars before that have got this, where they put this tint on, and it helps the air conditioning. That's what it's all about. But I'll have to see how I can get used to it. All the gear, but I say the switch, you press the button there. You don't see this. I've never seen this anywhere else, right? But I've seen the button not here. I've seen it in. I've seen one with nothing there, so they must have a button somewhere else. I've seen one before, but usually, obviously, got keys. Keys are probably better. But the good thing about this is, you know what you can do? You can lock the vehicle and leave the vehicle running, so you can work away from it, right? And then close the door and click on the thing on the fob and walk away and leave the air conditioning on. But no one can get in the car, right? Then what happened today with us is, yeah, it's got the steering wheel with all the gear. It's got cruise control, you know, all the phoning and everything. Not that I don't need to phone anybody because everyone will be in the car that I know. Anyway, so well, except no, she won't be in the car because I've got to let her in it. And yeah, someone's fitted a bloody boost thing, which you know. What else was I going to say? So what happens with the key? So what happened today was we stopped. So people we went with somebody and they were in their car. We went in their car, so we come back. We met up with them on the side of the road. We stopped. So they went off, and then we went to carry on. And I pressed somehow I managed to press the lock button, right? He went bump bump. The lights went bump 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 3 times. Bump 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 3 times. So I was thinking, okay. Then I go to start. So what you have to do then is you then put your foot on the brake, the keys in your hand, the fob's in your hand, or it's in the vehicle, and you press that button there, start, and it should start. And then there were times where it would start, but then it would, like, as soon as I got it running, but then when I tried to put my foot on the brake, so you put your foot on the brake first, and then you put it into gear or do whatever because it's an automatic, right? Then what happens then is the alarms start going off. Or what would happen is I could drive, I could get it started somehow, I could manage to somehow get it started, but then I'd drive, but then let's try the brake, and I'd try the brake, and then the whole lot would just stop. We'd then come to a stop, and the lights, the flash, the alarm was going off. What's going on here? So Bond's going, I'll phone the fire. I said, no, I'm a top engineer, I'm top of the food chain, I'll sort this out. It's only going to be, it's basically going to be something. Needs to be done in the right order. So after about, like, what did take about like 5 or 10 minutes, right? And eventually she phones up the guy who bought it off, and he gave some advice, but I wasn't listening. It wasn't that anyway. What it was I'd lock the car with us in it. So when I pressed open and I went, right, that does different flashing, like 1 flash or 2 flashes. Then I went, oh, it's open. Then I did exactly the same thing, put my foot on the brake, and then pressed the button, it started, and I put it into first and drove, and then put the brake on again. He didn't stop this time, and that was it. That was all it was. So basically I'd locked the car with us in it, and then I was trying, it was as if we'd broken in, then we're trying to start the car somehow by doing something. So yeah, it's good. That was a good thing. Fail early, fail small. So it was good, so that's all sorted. And the light's nice, isn't it there? Good LED lighting. 12,000 quid for all this car. Do you know what I mean? You know, and it's also best of both worlds. It's got you can go like that, and you can do sequential up and down anyway. So because it can get a bit lumpy. It can get a bit lumpy. It can, like, you know, when you're driving along, it's a bit like not bogged down, but because it's always basically tries to go in a higher gear than you think you need. So when you put your foot on the floor, it's sluggish to way, so you really want to come down. So if you slam it to the ground, it's got kickback, hasn't it? Got kicked down, they call it. So you can then drive away. It'll drop down a gear when you smash it to the floor, right? But also, if you just think you're on a place where you think to yourself you just want to be able to go or something, you can just put it into sequential, and you can just stay in whatever gear you want to be in and then go up it. Yeah, so it's good, that. Oh, that's from a monk, that will be. They bless them. I suppose we'll have to have this blessed. Not that I've ever been into any of that. I'm not into any of that kind of business. But yeah, so that's it. And probably slid that over too much. I shouldn't have slid that. I should have you put that in the middle. Bloody, that's red hot, that is. I don't know. Let's just turn it off so we know it's off. I don't know how clever the battery system is on this. Yeah, so. Fuzzy lovely, yeah, well, really lovely ones. There you go, so that's it. And obviously the most important thing is that I looked around and thought, oh my God. Because Highlander is supposed to be the top one. You get different versions of it. And then I looked, oh God, it isn't. That's all it is. It is a Highlander. I say, someone's modified it and put the wheels on it and the Brembo brakes, that's good. And it's got a nice red Isuzu. With all the lights. So I say, the lights, really, we're not getting the use of them. Everyone else gets the use of seeing the lights, but you can't, outside of that window, you can't see the lights because it's dark. So that's going to have to come off. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Yeah, maybe the side ones can stay and the front one can come off. We'll go, hopefully underneath it, there is just a standard tinted window from the factory. That's what it should be, shouldn't it? You know what I mean? Yeah, it is nice. Oh. So yeah, but we've got it now. That's it. So when it's mega hot, we can go out. We can go out in this. Because there are days where you literally just go, oh my God, you got to wrap up. You got to wrap up like you're going into a freezer cold store just to go outside in the sun, because the sun can be so hot. Due to, I'm assuming it's to do with the way that the world, the earth moves, and you can get closer. You get closer to the sun or something at certain times of the year, because the sun just burns your skin. Like burns as in like it's so hot. She loves playing, she is that black dog. Right, okay, that's the end of that then. Let's get some dinner. You okay, Dan?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay.